So what if you can't afford the coaching? What do you do then? Now for me, whenever I think about buying, investing, or getting myself involved with anything, there's only ever 3 letters that I really think about. And those 3 letters are ROI. And what does that stand for? Return on investment. And the reason why only these 3 letters count is because I'm going to give you an example to make it a little bit easier to explain. If I was charging you $1,000 for a product or service, right? And I said to you, it costs you $1,000 and what you get is very little, right? You get A, B, C, nothing of note, just very basic service or return. Whereas if I said to you, I'm going to charge you that same $1,000, but in return, I'm going to deliver you value that's going to ensure that you're going to get back $10,000, which means that you've got a 10x ROI. So what I'd encourage you to do is whenever you think that something's too expensive or you're in a position where you feel you can't afford it, ask yourself the question, does this investment deliver me a return? Do I get a return on my investment if I make this? So I want to be thinking, if I'm putting in $1,000, what am I going to get back out and when am I going to get it back out? And sometimes this isn't a certainty of what you're going to get back or when, but this is when you look at results, you have conversations to understand, am I going to get a return? If so, when? And also how? So when you think about the coaching that we're talking about when it comes to you starting an online business, now, when I started mine up, I invested up front. So let's just say, for example purposes, I invested that same $1,000. Now, within 2 days, I had generated $4,000 for that very same business. So if I'd put in 1,000 and I've managed to get 4,000 out the other end in 2 days, I'm already 4x ROI. If I scaled that same $4,000 across a month at the same kind of run rate, what would I have done? 20,000, 30,000. So you can start to see how the math really adds up. So if I'd returned $20,000 or $30,000 within a month after a $1,000 investment up front, you can see I've had a very, very significant return. And even if this same service had cost me $10,000 or even $20,000, right? Think about it. If I've got $20,000 or $30,000 at the end of that first month, I've made a return on my investment within 1 month. Anything after that is pure profit. So if I'm running a business for a year, which is the bare minimum and something that you should be thinking about, planning ahead, as long as I've managed to make a return on my investment within 30 days or within a reasonable time period, anything after that is complete profit. So you've got to always think about those 3 letters of ROI whenever you ask yourself or convince yourself that you can't afford something. I hope that that's helpful. If any of it's unclear or you want to discuss it further, we can do that on the strategy call that you should have already booked, and I look forward to speaking to you then.